the topic financial intelligence for HR professionals. And this webinar is hosted by World Academy. World Academy is one of the largest professional certification and professional education institute in the world. And the motto for World Academy is to beside the professionals for building their competencies in the new era, to fit them with the new AI world. So we are always assisting the professionals across the globe. Okay, so we will be talking about this institute in between time for 5 to 7 minutes. Let me start the webinar straight away. For you, this is Rupak Nasrullah Zaidi. I'm working as a vice president for World Academy. And it's a full-time role I'm playing here. And I'm patronizing these organizations. I'm looking after the global operations for World Academy. And World Academy's mission 2030 is to become the #1 professional certification institute in the world, having 100 countries presence. So very clean and loud mission is set, and we are very much on track with the achievement of this mission. Okay, all right. So coming to the point, HR is no longer a support function, it's a business driver. I don't know how many of us to agree with this or not, but whether you are agreeing or disagree, it is immaterial. That is the uniqueness of present HR positions in the world. In majority organizations, in different countries, HR is playing a business driver role. Now, question is, if anyone cannot play, what will happen then? That particular individual will be obsolete for the industry. And if it is an organization, and if they do not know how to play as a business driver, then this organization can also will suffer a lot. So that is a very, very, important truth about HR professionals now. They are become the business driver. So to cope up with this challenge, to lead the business as a driver, what you need to do, you need to know the business acumen. As a HR professional, you need to be master on business acumen to drive the strategic impact for driving the business. There is no alternative. So we must know the business acumen. What are the business acumens are? Understanding the business model and revenue stream. The first thing, you need to know what are different revenue streams for your organization. What are the business model they are following? Secondly, financial literacy and intelligence, the main topic that we'll be touching today, very shortly and briefly. Third one, recognizing cost structure and profit drivers. It's also connected with the second one. So, but still, it's a focus point, because wherever you are working in your HR functional area, you need to connect two things. The issues that you are doing, what is the cost involvement and what is the return for the company? Unfortunately, majority of us, including me, as I'm an HR professional as well, so majority of us are only focusing on what are the cost involvement, because we don't know how to calculate the expected ROI of this initiative. We might not be interested in this number games. We might be reluctant to do a hard work to identify what are the benefits coming from in terms of the monetary values. So these are the challenges for this. Fourthly, aligning HR strategy with the business objectives. So whatever you are doing, whatever the strategy you have set for your department as HR department, what you need to do, you must align this with the business objective. Analyzing the market trends and business risk. So all these things are the business acumen related area, and we'll be mostly focusing on the second items. The core element of business acumen, the first thing, financial acumen, operational acumen, market and competitive acumen, strategic acumen. These are the four core acumen, core areas for business acumen. As HR professional, there is no alternate without learning this. You must learn. So you cannot say, okay, I'm dealing with the people, I'm dealing with the talents, so I will be mastering on talent management only. No, you cannot say like this moment. You need to become master on the areas where business drives, where business are involved. So business are involving with the operations, with the marketing, with the strategies, with the competitions, everywhere. You need to make sure your footprints are there. Okay, so the first thing is financial acumen. Second is operational acumen. That means how the operations is doing, how the operations can create value to the customers. What are the points which is connected for creating values? Then market and competitive acumen. Who are the competitors in the market? What is their strategies? How they are changing their strategies to cope up with the new ventures, new areas. So in which areas you are deficit from them? You need to identify those. For this, what you need to do? You need to analyze the competitor. Competitor analysis, that is another important areas. And the strategic acumen, you need to play a role as a strategic business driver, not as a operational or administrative performer only. That day is gone. That day is gone. You cannot be only the administrative experts nowadays as an HR professional. You need to be a strategist. So under the financial acumen, there are revenue drivers, cost structures, profitability, and budgeting issues. The major four areas to be expert on. So you need to understand what are the revenue drivers. Why we need to understand this? Because all the HR initiatives, the recruitment, the performance management, the learning and development, the employee engagement, all these areas should be focusing on it is all the costs that could be optimized by HR professional as well. Profitability. How can we focus on this? What are the initiatives we can do which can maximize the profitability? And budgeting options as well. So these are main core four areas under the financial acumen. Okay. How to build business acumen? Number one steps, engage with the business leaders. Because we are not a business professionals for sure. We learned HRs in our academic educations. We are doing activities through our HR domains. So how can we become an expert in the business acumen? Better to engage with the business leaders, the CEOs, the COOs, the head of finance, the head of operations, head of business. Talk to them, build relationship. They're not our foes. They are the friends. Make a cooperative approach, not conflicting. There is a saying that the conflict between finance and HR, conflict between this, that. So many things are there, right? But we should not make these type of conflicts. What do we need to do? You need to make a relationship. Attending their meetings, etc. Then learn the business model. There are different models, business models. So learn it through training, through studying, through attending different presentations, etc., etc. So learn the model. Then master the financial literacy. Very, very important. The major three parts of the financial literacy: profit and loss statements, balance sheet, cash flow statements. These are the three components of financial instruments. You need to be expert on this. I repeat, you need to be expert on this. Now, question comes, as HR professional, how can we become expert? No worries. You can. If you want, you can. There are a lot of ways to become expert. It doesn't mean that you need to go for academic education again. No, not at all. There are lots of ways. You can study, you can understand, you can go for training, you can attend seminars like today's webinars. Maybe 1-2 points you can learn from today's webinar as well. So the first thing is you need to keep your mindset. It's very, very important. Mindset. You are not at all only an HR professional. You are a business driven HR professional. You treat yourself as a strategic HR professional. You treat yourself as an HR business partner. If you treat yourself, if you think that yes, I'm the business partner, I will guide the business leaders even in the business domain, then your thirst will be created inside. And once you are thirsty to learn, there are plenty of ways will be opened in front of you to learn. Without learning, ladies and gentlemen, it's no way to be sustained in this HR domain anymore. No way. You need to, you must. It is not your choice. It's your obligation now to become to have the mastery on the financial literacy, to have the competencies on the business acumen. It's not a choice nowadays. It's an obligation. It's an obligation for the HR professional. Believe me, trust me. By having experience in the 25 years in the corporate world and having experience by training in around 30 plus countries, due to my professional role right now, I'm traveling a lot. So I conducted different HR business partner certification programs in different countries. So from different experience, from multicultural experience, I'm telling you, it's not at all a choice right at this moment. It's an obligation. If you cannot cope up, as Nokia, you will be out from the market. So you need to cope up with this one. And benchmark the competitor practice and use the data to make the business case. That is very important, to make a business case, how to develop a business case. Because for every initiatives, for every HR, actions, if you can prepare a business case, then it will be much more easier for you to analyze that, to come up with some data-driven decisions, suggestions for the top management. So you need to be very, very conscious about it. The data to make the business case, okay? The key HR metrics that reflect the business acumen. Revenue per full-time employee. FTE means full-time employee. It could be an average, but still it can give you a vibe. The last year, what is the revenue per FTE, and this year, how much it is. Whether it is going up or going down, it can track yourself. Show how efficiently the workforce contribute to the revenue generation, how efficient your people is. And it's a number. It's a number. It's not a subjective measurement. It's an objective measurement, numeric value measurement. Cost per hire, turnover rate, time to proficiency. I mean, it means the how quick your learning curves being achieved by your employees. Employee engagement rate. Employee engagement is directly contributing to the productivity. The more engaged your people, it seems the more productivity could be there. The customer satisfaction, the ROI of the training, HR operating cost per full-time employees. So these are different metrics. Not only these 10, 12 metrics, there may be 100 metrics which are connected, which connects two items, HR and business. You need to have the capacity to convert HR metrics to business metrics. How? For example, absenteeism rate. This is an HR metrics for sure. You calculated that absenteeism rate is 6% in your company. You just did the HR metrics. Now, smart HR people, business-driven HR people can convert it to the business. How? What is the cost for this? How much the company is losing to have this high absenteeism rate? So convert it to the monetary value and tell the management, we have 6% absenteeism rate, which causes our $1 million for the last year. Then the CEO, the top management will think twice. If not, they will not give value to you. No way. So why we need to understand about the financial intelligence? Number one, aligning HR strategy with the business goal. We need to align it. HR strategy with the business goal. Improve the cost efficiency and workforce productivity. So every time, it is not only the head counts. Apart from these head counts, make the number counts, the dollar counts for efficient by calculating efficiency and the productivity. Make data-driven decisions. Without the numbers, you cannot prepare any data-driven suggestions or decisions. And of course, you need to understand the bottom line. What is bottom line? Bottom line is the last part, which is called net profit for the company. Everybody are working for this bottom line, to increasing this bottom line. There is no other objective. The security guard, the T-boy, the pullman, the driver, whoever the person, the CEO, every person. I repeat, each and every person are contributing towards the bottom line of the company. It is HR who should identify in which percentage what positions are contributing. It's not so easy for sure. It's the biggest, toughest work in the world for HR, but still it is possible. Still, you need to do it. Maybe 100% corrections could not be there. No problem. Start doing it. Perfections will come automatically after some times. So what do we need to do? You need to identify the connections between organogram and the balance sheet. After that, you will find that yes, the contributions for the bottom line is there from every professionals, every persons, and gain credibility with the senior leadership and business units. There is a complaint in majority areas in different countries. We are facing these complaints from HR professional that management are not giving value to us. Management are not giving the scope to talk on the business parts. They are not trusting us. They are not relying us. It's true. Why? It is we could not prove. We could not prove that we have the credibility to contribute to the business decision. We didn't prove ourselves that we can contribute to the business discussion. That's why they didn't rely on us. It's not their fault. It's we who needs to prove ourselves. Okay? Perfect. Now, let me move on this importance part. The linking HR strategy to the business performance. I told in my discussions previously as well. You see here the question, how much does improving employee engagement contribute is revenue? For example, if you can calculate that in 2022, your employee engagement score was 56% and the profit per employee or total profit is $1,000. Now, in 2023, the employee engagement score goes up to 63% and profit goes up to $1,700. That means around 70% profits increased and around say 10% or 15% employee engagement score increased. So there is a positive correlation here. You keep it, track this data, use this data for your records, for your presentations, show them. You look, this is the HR related contribution, HR related data, and this is your financial data, and there is a positive correlation. So if we contribute to increase the employee engagement, it can help us to increase the profitability. You need to have courage. You know, I said 3 C's. 3 C for HR professional: competence, confidence, and courage. I repeat, 3 C: competence, confidence, and courage. If you gain competence by having different courses, different learnings, by studying, by discussion from anywhere, you gain knowledge and skills inside you, you will have competence. Once you have competence, then you can gain confidence. And once you have competence and confidence, then you gain courage to talk in front of anybody, whoever in front of you. He is the business leader of 30 years experience in the business organization, doesn't matter. I have competence, I have confidence, and I have courage to talk. I can tell you that this decision is not correct. Look, I in my professional work, in my corporate life, I challenged so many business leaders, the CEOs, that your business decision. For example, in my previous organization, a financial institution, the board has decided to open a branch in a city. It is decided. After that, managing director asked me that, Mr. Zaidi, we have decided to open the branch. Please arrange this opening. Need to hire the offices, need to hire people, etc., etc. I make my calculations and I proved, I gave the statistics that it took 5 years time for us to make break even. However, if we can do a different model, like just hiring 1 or 2 business development people in these areas and attaching with the adjacent branch, and after 3 years, if we can open the branch, we could achieve the break even within 2 years time. It can save us a lot of monies for the costs. And once I showed this to the managing director, he understood, but he said, as board has decided what to do. I said, why not? Why not? We should come up to the go to the board again. That look, that could be the scenario. So shall we proceed with your decision, or do you alter this decision? He was a bit confused, and he was a bit, scared. If the board asked him, why not you come up with this proposal earlier? Probably that. But I had the courage because I had competence and I had confidence. And I said, let's go to the board again. And we put the agenda, and I myself, as a head of HR, presented that agenda in front of the boards. And trust me, the board altered their decisions. That is what HR professionals should do. It's not only the people-related issues. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, be aware about it. Right? It's a high time to become aware about it. Gaining credibility with the business leaders, of course, we need to gain the credibility. As I told, like this. Instead of saying we need to improve engagement, no, not that. You say that increasing 10% engagement, we will gain that much percentage of the profitability or the revenue generation. Increase. Okay. So supporting the data-driven decision making, right? Data-driven decision making, and then these are the important part, right? Core financial concept, as I told you, P&L account or profit and loss statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. These are the 3 core areas you need to understand in a perfect way, so that you could become more qualified in the areas of financial intelligence part. Okay, let me come back to this again. Just there is a I will take 10 minutes time for the strategic break, for introducing the organization and its products itself for World Academy. So let me share my screen once again with another presentation. So World Academy, I told you, is an UK-based organization. Our motto is shaping expertise, nurturing ambitions, and elevate your potential. So World Academy is always beside the professionals to elevate their potentials. We are UK RLP, UK Registers Organization, UK Register of Learning Providers. We have the UK RLP number as well. We are the ISO certified organizations. A couple of ISO certifications we do have for our quality management system in terms of the L&D industry. Our impact on the global landscape, we have presence in 65 countries. I told you earlier, 200 plus programs from academic to certified. So wide range. Trained over 30,000. Our alumni size is now 30,000 plus. And the number is counting on every day. 132 instructors from 14 countries. 30% of our alumni hold C-suite role in major organizations. So they are in the government side, they are in the multinational companies, they are in NGOs, they are in non-profit organizations, they are in commercial organizations, in banks, in manufacturing, whatnot, everywhere. 95% course completion rate at the first attempt. Why it is the right choice? One of the largest professional certification institute based in United Kingdom. One of the largest, till now we are telling it, but we are hopeful that by 2030, we can tell this is the largest professional certification institute. We are very much hopeful on that. Globally accepted credentials, affordable fees. Our fee structure is very, very affordable. You can compare with any institute. Flexible payment plan, wide range of programs, 150 plus certified programs, certified credential. What is the difference? Certified programs. The certified programs means you can write the professional designation beside your name, like CHRP, CHRBP, like certified HR business partner. That means CHRBP. You can write beside your name. Then 30 plus master's level programs. We are collaborating with universities for offering different masters. 40 plus diploma level programs. User-friendly learning management system and credential-based badges. The digital badge we're issuing through Credly. You know, Credly is one of the largest, not one of the, this is the largest digital badge issuer organization in the world. And we launched two very important programs very recently. One is Professional Masters in Applied Human Resource Management and Professional Masters in Applied Finance and Accounting. Competency areas. That is the professional masters we have launched. We do have our global affiliation. We are accredited by NQL. NQL is Ofqual regulated awarding body in UK. Approved center by Cambridge Academy of Professionals UK. Approved center by Profqual. Center by Board of HR Certification. Approved provider of HR, CIS, HRM, and ATT. These are the three very giant HR certification bodies in the world, and we are approved provider of them. And one of the very prestigious recognition World Academy has, that is SHRM, recognized as an academically aligned institute. That means our masters in HR, postgraduate diploma in HR program is academically aligned with the SHRM's SHRM SCP, Senior Professionals Program. That is very, very credible, recognition from SHRM. And we are the member for CPT Group. Partner, we do have partner institute as well. Our mission 2030, to become #1 professional certification institute in the world, having presence in 100 countries. Okay. These are our recent activities, the graduation ceremony or certificate awarding ceremony in the 3 countries. Then Kenya, we did it in August, first week of August, all these 3 countries. And that is the professional summit, Global Professional Summit in 2025. That is also in Kenya. Then we do have our graduation ceremony in Uganda. That is also in 5th of August, probably the date. And also we do have International People Summit in 2025, in August as well in Uganda. And we also had the graduation ceremony in Tanzania, also in August, maybe it was in 8th of August. And also we did have our Global Professional Summit 2025 in Tanzania as well. So these are the very recent activities, recent programs for World Academy in African Belt. We declare physical programs, in-person programs in Malaysia in September, the next week. So there are 3 programs. Number one program is Masterclass on HR Business Partner. So the masterclass, the fee is only 950 ringgit. And if after completing this masterclass, if anyone is interested to become certified, then pay the rest of the amount. Rest amount means only another 750. So to make it total 1700. 1700 ringgit is our certified HR business partners program cost. But if anyone is interested, they can attend only this 2 days program as a HRBP masterclass and pay only 950 ringgit. And if they feel that this program is credible and they need to upgrade themselves as a CHRBP, they pay the rest for 750 again and get this certification, right? So, but only for attending this 2 days program, 22 and 23 September, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Malaysia time, in Malaysia, Petalong Jaya, right, in PKNS building. So this program will be an in-person program, and these are the modules we'll be covering. And I will be the facilitator for this program. HR business partner concept, dimensions of HRBP, HRBP capabilities and mindset, business acumen and business strategy, financial intelligence for HRBP, strategic human resource management, strategic workforce planning, HR analytics for business decision, succession management for business continuity, and HRBP as internal consultant. Very, very credible course for HR professional, for sure. Telling you honestly, If you can attend, you will find the difference before and after successful completion of this course. How much you have competence, how much you have confidence, and how much you will be courageous. Okay, that is one program, only at the rate of 950 ringgit. And then another program is Certified Learning and Development Professional. This program cost is 1700 ringgit. That is the certification program straight away. So there is also 2 days workshops, and after that there will be online assessment. So that is another very credible program. And third program, which is a masterclass on objectives and key results, OKR. That is only 1 day program on 26th September, 9 to 5 p.m. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The 5 modules will be covered. I mean, you need to have a very good understanding, the foundation of your objective and key results. And the cost is only 600 ringgit, only 600 Malaysian ringgit for this 2 days program, including lunch and tea breaks. Okay, these are the physical programs in September in Malaysia. And some are virtual live sessions program, like Certified Human Capital Professional, starting from 19th September. That is a virtual live class based, like Zoom. We will be using Zoom for these classes, and every week there will be 1 classes, starting from 19th September. So postgraduate diploma in logistic and supply chain management, starting from 20th of September. That is a diploma program. Then we do have Certified Risk Management Professional, starting from 21st September. We do have Financial Modeling Professional, starting from 27th September. These all are virtual live class based. Then Finance and Accounting Professional, starting from 27th September. Certified Internal Auditor, starting from 28th September. It will be 28th September. Then in October, we do have a couple of programs, the virtual live session. One is Postgraduate Diploma in Human Resource Management. And you know, this is the program I told you that this is the badge from SHRM, and it will be placed in the certificate as well, that academically aligned program. And also Diploma in Monitoring, Evaluation and Accountability Learning, DML, starting from 11 October. And then Certified KPI Specialist. There's a very credible program for key performance indicator. And we will be starting it from 17 October. And Postgraduate Diploma in Project Management, starting from 18 October. And finally, Certified Financial Risk Manager, starting from 26 October. So these are a couple of virtual programs in September and October. Thank you very much for your strategic break, and thank you for patience hearing to me. Now coming back to our main presentations where we were. Okay, I'm sure that you can see my screen again. The profit and loss account, P&L statement, I'm just giving you the very important clues. Revenue, which is the income. Cost of goods sold, the direct cost involved in producing the goods or services. Then the gross profit, revenue minus COGS. Operating expense, these are the operating expenses, salary, benefit, training cost, administrative expenses, all are called operating expenses. And net profit is revenue minus total expense. So that is what are the major component of P&L. Why we need to understand this? What is the relevance? You see, I mean, if you are talking about the performance management, what does it comes? It's not only the employee performance, it is the business performance first. You need to evaluate the business performance first, then connecting with the HR performance or people performance. So to evaluate the business performance, these are the areas where you need to understand how it can be increased. Suppose the operating expenses, how can you reduce it? What are the areas? The gross profit, how can we increase it? Right? This is the relationship for HR, relevancy for HR. Then the balance sheet, asset, liability, and equity. What are the asset part? What are the liability part? And what are the equity part? So why we need to do this? Some accrued liabilities. Sometimes, I mean, we need to make an accrual of different liabilities, right? And then the cash flow statement, very, very important for HR professional to understand about the cash inflow and cash outflow. You need to have a balance. You need to have a balance. For example, I used to give this example. Suppose you are working in an organization, which is a very profitable organization, but only 2 months, there's the season, November and December. This is the 2 months only. So your revenue comes in this 2 months and you need to spend around the year. So as HR professional, as HR heads, what do you need to do? You need to prepare the compensation strategy in such a way so that you can meet up your expenses around the year. That means we need to understand the cash flow as well. Some key metrics, key financial metrics for HR. Say revenue per full-time employee. That is the formula. Measure the employee productivity. Profit per full-time employee. Measure the contribution of each employee to the profitability. And that is the formula. Benefit cost as percent of revenue. So total benefit divided by total revenue. And that will measure the efficiency of the people. Then cost replacing an employees. The employee engagement impact. Then cost per hire. Total recruitment cost divided by number of hires. Turnover cost. Increased revenue divided by engagement improvement. So these are very key metrics, but it is not limited to these only. There are a lot of other metrics as well, which will be very much connected with two dimensions. One is HR dimensions, and other is financial dimensions. So you need to understand, you need to learn those, you need to apply, you need to have the credibility to apply these type of metrics for evaluation part. Now there is a model. HR Financial Intelligence Model, HRFI model. Okay. The model has 5 steps. Number 1, awareness. What? Knowing the costs. That is the mostly knowing the cost. That is the awareness part. Then analysis. Read the numbers. Be acquainted, be fluent on reading the numbers. Then alignment. Link the strategy. Link different strategies. Then action. Drive the change, implement it. Then evaluation, show the return on investment, show the ROI to the world, right? So these are the 5 steps for FI model, HRFI model. Let's have a little bit of detail. In awareness part, understand the basics of financial statements, build the awareness of cost drivers in HR, recognize how HR initiatives show up in financial reports. So example, HR realized that high attrition costs directly affect the company's bottom line. Once you realized it, you make a proposal to the management. If we can reduce the attrition rate, we can gain the profitability and that level. So that is from step 1, you can gain the knowledge and expertise. Step 2, analysis. Analyze the workforce data in financial terms. Cost per hire, ROI, attrition cost, etc., etc. Always becoming the number oriented. Compare HR expenses with productivity outcomes. Use ratio analysis. For example, HR cost as percent of revenue. Say, for example, previous year you had 3% HR cost in comparison with the revenue, and this year it is 3.5. That means your productivity goes down. That means your efficiency goes down. Or it could happen either way, that you have a lot of expansions. That can happen, but you need to understand, you need to have the logic, right? Then examples shows, HR shows that a $50,000 training investment reduces errors, saving $200,000. So this time, what is the investment? What is the cost? And what is the benefit? Alignment, align HR strategy with the corporate financial goals. Why we are, doing these HR activities, connecting with the financial goals or organizational goals. Ensure people initiatives contribute to the profitability, efficiency, or revenue growth. And collaborate with finance team for budget and investment decisions. It's collaboration, it's not conflicting. Make sure. So example is there, HR aligns recruitment strategy with the company's expansion plan. Action, drive the change as I told. Implement initiatives backed by financial logic. I repeat, backed by financial logic. Why you need to do this? Well, we want to gain that much. And monitor the budget and control cost without harming employee experience. Make sure, that is very important, without harming employee experience. Don't bother about the employee cost that much. That is the last resort for you. Present HR initiative with financial justifications. So HR process a referral bonus program costing $30,000 but saving $100,000 in the recruitment agency's fees. So this type of cost benefit analysis they need to present. And the last step is evaluation, measuring ROI of HR program. You need to measure the ROI of HR programs, training ROI, retention impact, productivity gains, etc. Report HR outcomes in financial terms to leadership. So HR outcome we need to, I mean, concentrate. We need to present to the leadership team, the management team. Continuously refine HR strategy based on measurable financial impact. So HR that wellness program reduce absenteeism, saving $80,000 in lost productivity. If you can prove this, if you can calculate the benefits, expected benefits, why not management will approve the budget of your cost? Of course they are, because they are businessmen. They understand the return on investment. So you must focus on these two parts of every reports. What is their investment? What is your return? Don't forget it. Okay, so these are the 5-step model for HR finance unit. And another model is called HR value model. Very important for HR professional. HR value model. You see here the connections. This is the cycle. The circle is going in this order, and these are connected. So each are connected with other two. One item is connected with other two. One item is connected with other two. That is the value HR value model, financial intelligence for HR professionals. So we believe this model can help, can build the change of HR professionals. Let me tell you a little bit of more about this model. V for value mapping. Value mapping. What is this? Identify how HR activities contribute to business value. That is value mapping. How we are doing HR activity, but it can create, it can prepare the values, produce the values to the organization. What about the activities? Connect employee productivity, engagement, and retention to revenue and profitability. That means the value mapping means, in a nutshell, we can tell value mapping means HR activity connected with business outcome. That is the value mapping. So what value it produces? Suppose this is the case, HR maps the cost of turnover and shows that reducing attrition by 10% save $300,000 annually. So 10% attrition is an HR activity, and $300,000 saving is the business outcome. That is the value mapping. So first word V for value mapping. A for analytics and alignment. Use HR and financial data analytics to link talent decisions to a strategic business outcome. You need to do analysis and make the alignment between HR and business. HR decision and business decision. That is for A. Analytics and alignment. And L for leverage costs and investment. Balance people cost with long-term value creation. So balancing, leveraging the cost and investment. So HR shifts healthcare plan to preventive wellness programs, lowering claims and saving $120,000 in premiums. That is called leveraging cost and investment. Like balancing, make the balancing. And U for understanding financial language. You see, without this U, you cannot do other things. So you need to understand this. Gain fluency in financial terms, EBITDA, ROI, payback, cash flow. There's so many terms are there. And translate HR proposals into financial language so that people can understand. The major gap of HR professional. We cannot translate, we cannot prepare our proposal in the language of finance. Instead of saying, we need training, you need to present $1 invested in training, $3 return in productivity gains. Look the difference between these two terms. The same proposal. If you say we need training, and if you say invest that much in training, and this will give you back that much. So for telling this statement, what you need? First, need competency to calculate. Calculate of cost, calculate of return. Then confidence. What you calculate, is it correct? Will this originally be in place? There's a confidence. Once this two, then courage to talk to management. Yes, it is. Give me $1, I will give you back $3. That type of courage you need to have. Dear friends, so 3C: competence, confidence, and courage. Okay. Then the E, evidence-based decision. Make HR decisions backed by cost-benefit analysis. Any suggestions, any decisions, whatever you are taking, try to analyze this two part. What is the cost and what is the benefit? That is called evidence-based decisions. So these are the value model, HR value model for having a financially driven HR professional. Okay. So I will not do this activity because this is a huge number of crowd here. We cannot do the breakout room now. But I'm just giving you the clue. You see, you just see this. These are the items, and this is 2 years data. All our financial data here. You can see the revenue, the profit, employee cost, turnover rate, training cost, revenue per employee, and this is the effect. I mean the changes of these 2 years. Now, if you can see this data as a HR professional, what can you do? What will be your thinking? If I had time and if I could get the opportunity, I could give this to group of people and could understand what they are looking into this. Is this only the data, or there is something else? As a HR business partner, as a strategic HR professional, as a certified HR business partner, what you need to think, what you need to look into this, and how you can come up with some solutions. You see, what are the key drivers of the decline in profitability at the company? Looking for key drivers for declining the profitability. The company having the profitability decline minus 16.6%, whereas revenue has growth 8%. Got the point? Revenue has growth 8%, but the profitability declines 16.6%. Employment cost goes up 20%, turnover goes up 6%, and training cost goes up $1 million. Okay, so from this case, that is how the case can be presented. We need to, I mean, all this data is available for every company, but this type of accumulation may not be there. So first thing, you need to prepare the case, then go for analysis. Why? And what is the issues we need to address? Let's see the solution analysis. The key drivers: employee cost plus 20% increase. It could be due to salary inflation. It could be overhiring or poor workforce planning. It could be increased overtime or benefit expenses. What it is, go for deeper analysis. Then identify. Then high turnover rate, 12 to 18%. So higher recruitment cost, loss of productivity, disruption in team performance. Right? So you can reduce this in any case for getting this gaining. Then training cost. Though investment, if it is an investment, but still the ROI cannot be ensured. If you can do the relevant training, maybe the relevant training is there. If you can do the relevant training, then of course the training cost increase can give you the back. Revenue per employee decrease, lack of performance management, hiring beyond optimum levels, poor skill job alignment. So what is your solution or recommendation? Optimize workforce planning, address the turnover, link training to performance, boost employee product, not reducing the training cost. No, link training to the performance and boost employee productivity, data-driven compensation strategy. So now look, these all are HR related actions. all are HR related items, all are HR's jurisdictions initiatives. And from where this comes? All this comes from the financial data. So that is what we need to have our capacity. Don't be afraid of financial data. Try to look into this, try to analyze this. You will gain some expertise, you will gain some insights from this and prepare your recommendation based on your HR strategy. For this, you need to become HR business partner. That is the role of HRBP, what it does. There are different financial terms: break-even analysis, liquidity ratio, profitability ratio, leverage ratios, efficiency ratios. You need to learn this. You need to understand this very much. For example, that is another case, right? Xerox has this much employees and generated a total revenue of this million in 2023. And the total employee cost was 120 million in 2023. Management wants to improve revenue per employee by 12% and reduce employee cost by 8% without reducing headcount. Very interesting. Improve revenue per employee 12% and reduce employment cost by 8% without reducing headcount. So what do we need to do? We need to analyze this type of case. This is management wants. So what is the current revenue? How can you solve this? First, identify the current revenue per employee and cost per employee. What will be the target revenue per employee and employee cost per employee? And if headcount remains constant, what should be the break-even points? Right? So this is the way, how can we do this? The revenue per employee is this much, cost per employee is this much. We identified it very easy to identify this. Then targeted revenue, as they say, 12% increase. And here they said 8% reduced. So that is the targeted revenue, that is the targeted cost. So now total revenue to meet the target. So this much without having the headcounts. So that is the total revenue you need to generate. And what could be the cost? So that much into this much. This is the per person cost, this is total cost. So that could be the total cost. That is how we can calculate. Clear? Dear friends, how can we ensure these best practices for strengthening our financial intelligence? Take financial literacy courses and training, if possible. Engage with the finance team up regularly in your organization. Participate in financial review meetings, if possible. Use HR technology and analytics for data-driven decisions. Link HR performance with business KPI. If you can do this, it will be easier for you to become proficient. So the key learning: finance, F for forecasting, I for interpretation of the data, N for negotiation, A for alignment with the strategy, N for numbers driven decision, C for cost management, E for evaluation of ROI. Right? That is the learning points from our today's webinar. Finance, F for forecasting, forecast the cost, the approximate revenues. I for interpretation of the data, not only the HR related interpretations connected with the business. N for negotiation, negotiation with management, with employees for different cost benefit analysis. A for alignment with the strategy, HR strategy with business strategy. N for number driven decision, become number driven decision maker. C for cost management, E for evaluation of ROI. These are the learning outcomes. So thank you very much.